I think that the bigger issue, at least initially and preliminarily, will be the stand your ground hearing, because the stand your ground hearing is basically a motion to dismiss and have this case thrown out early. That's a hearing in front of the judge, and the judge will be the finder of fact and will make a determination as to whether stand your ground is appropriate. But before you even get into whether it's appropriate, you have to determine that the witness, who would be Zimmerman here, is credible, because it will be basically his version, which would suggest that this would be a stand your ground case and his story is credible. Now this judge, Judge Lester, who I've actually known for about 30 years, and he's a no-nonsense judge, as we said from the very beginning, has a real credibility issue as it relates to Zimmerman. Now that's where O'Mara, his lawyer, has a real issue about, does he proceed with another bond hearing? He suggested he will, but now can he reverse that judge's thought process? Because that's going to be somewhat incumbent for a stand your ground hearing.
Hey, Mark, I know some folks might be saying this is really no big deal, but keep in mind, Roger Clemens is on trial right now for lying to Congress under oath. That was one of the issues also with Barry Bonds, and so the court takes very seriously when somebody lies under oath to a court officer.
I can't agree with you more. The fact I've said, if I was ever a judge, and I never want to be or will be, but the fact is that I'd be tougher on two types of crimes, and one of those is lying. We accept lying too readily in the court system and say, oh, well, that's what happens. When you get caught, it's a big deal, as it well should be. Now, with that said, I think that we do need to hear the other side. We've not heard another side yet. It looks very damning. I agree completely. But I think we all need to take a deep breath and allow the hearing to play out and hear if there is a counterpoint to this. We don't know if all the facts, we don't know all the circumstances. It does make it look like his wife was absolutely holding information back from the court. But without a full hearing to hear all sides, you know, all we can do right now is guess and have a supposition. I want to get to the hearing.
Does the court take into account, I mean, when I've discussed this case with people, they've said, yeah, but, you know, on the other side, here you have a guy, he's 28, you know, he's relatively young, he's panicking, he obviously is trying to figure out how to get out of jail. You know, does the court take any of that sort of into account, or is it, listen, you lied and now you've wrecked your credibility to some degree, and, you know, since you've lied, we're going to be much harder on you? How does it work?
Yeah, if you're under oath, you're 28 years old, you're a man, you're deemed to know. You're 18, you're deemed to know. No, he's deemed to know what went on. And I don't think that there's going to be a lot of forgiveness with that. I think there may be an explanation that may provide some measure of mitigation. But I think that he's going to be held to his words and the consequences of those, as he well should be. I do want to make a quick point, though, that remember that when all this was going on, he'd had very little time to meet with his lawyer. The other lawyers got off the case. O'Mara got on it. Zimmerman turned himself in. So I don't think there was any opportunity to truly communicate with O'Mara, and even the court has said that he's not being held ethically to any of this. As soon as he knew about it, he did the right thing ethically and brought it before the court, to the court's attention. But there was really no time to meet with his counsel. And if there's any measure of mitigation that I'm hearing, it may be that he really was somewhat confused as far as who was in control and all that. Although the tape suggests that him and his wife believed that they were in control.